Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today we're going to be showing the stark contrast of where your favorite childhood YouTubers are now. On one side of the spectrum, you have a washed-up bozo who's fighting for his life right now against critics of his shit product that he released. And on the other side, you have a legend who is honestly a great representation of what YouTube should be and what your favorite YouTubers growing up should be doing and looking like now. In case you don't know, I am referring to the current beef between DanTDM and KSI. It's a... oh my god, the beef is really not even a beef because it's just this one guy showing a very valid concern that he has with this other YouTuber's product that he's launched. And then KSI's response to DanTDM is really telling of like how fucking insecure he really is about his own product, because like instead of actually saying and defending your product, he goes on the offense and attacks DanTDM rather than actually defending his own shit. So in case you haven't heard by now, KSI, Logan Paul, and Mr. Beast Nightmare blunt rotation, by the way. The fucking Justice League of retardation. They united, they put their hands together, their heads together, and decided to release a Lunchables competitor. This is called Lunchly, and it's basically a little box filled with some snacks that, instead of, you know, your mom caring enough about you to pack your lunch for you, goes to the store and buys an MRE, a meal ready to eat, because you have to have, like, pre-installed lunch. Your mom doesn't give enough of a fuck about you to, A, monitor what you're watching on YouTube, clearly, but B, pack you a lunch. But anyway, the main criticism against this Lunchly thing is, well, A, obviously the pre-existing criticism of the products in Lunchly, which is the Prime Hydration bottle and Mr. Beast chocolate. So that's like two of the big components of the meal. So people have already had criticisms with these two products respectively, and the fact that they've bundled them alongside the other stuff that we'll get into has already made people upset off the bat. And then of course the fact that not only do the products themselves, you know, have their own little dramas, that Mr. Beast and Logan Paul are also like very controversial people right now. Logan with his crypto scams and just shady activity and his long history of being a piece of shit, and Mr. Beast with his new crescendo of drama that he's gotten himself involved in, starting with the Chris Tyson stuff, then the dog pack videos. He's not having a great year himself. So the Three Stooges decided to launch this thing, and people quickly found out that the ingredients in the actual stuff, not the Mr. Beast bar and Prime, but like in the chips and the nachos and the turkey, whatever, the actual meals are using horrible ingredients. Like, if you go to the ingredients on the back of these boxes, you can quickly see there's some horrible things that, obviously, if I'm a parent, I wouldn't want my child eating. Like, at the top of the ingredients list, in a lot of these, you see heavily refined soybean oil. Now, I'm a seed oil hater. I fucking hate seed oils. They're horrible for you, and soybean oil is used to cook stuff in because it's cheaper than water. It's literally dirt cheap to use as a cooking agent, but it is directly linked with obesity and a myriad of other problems that I don't want my kid to have. So ultimately, people are mad that shitty creators are using shitty ingredients to make a shitty clone that has other shitty products to shittily market it toward children. Now, ultimately, is making a Lunchables clone, even though the ingredients are fucking like worse than dog food, the end of the world? No, it's not. There are a lot of things that people eat that are worse. Fast food is worse than Lunchables, or Lunchly, I would say. And the reality is, are you necessarily ever going to buy an MRE for your child because you're looking for the health component of it? Like, part of the point of like convenience food like that is you're alleviating the actual chore of making and cooking and packing food at the expense of its being less healthy. Like, you're basically sacrificing health for convenience. So the reality is, I don't actually have a giant issue with them making this. I mean, my phone is not stopped. Like, shut up, dude. Who even is this? Oh, Hot Topic. There's a sale at Hot Topic. That's great. That Hot Topic is still sending me texts. I thought that would have been a loving family member or something. Hey, how's your day going? No, it's not bad so far. I got this video I'm working on. Basically, I don't care about this product, right? But what I do care about is the fact that KSI is beefing with critics of the product. And the way he's engaging with it is fucking atrocious. So leave a like, subscribe, drop your tip color in the comment section down below. And so basically, I want to take a look at this video called KSI Just Responded in the Worst Way Possible, where it literally perfectly sums up what an atrocious response KSI gave to DanTDM, what the context is, and how he's literally coping in a new video that he just posted.
We're doing a Reddit video. We're doing Reddit, guys. Look at me. I'm so funny.
KSI definitely has a very coping sounding laugh. He definitely nervously laughs when he gets caught with his pants down. When he's obviously in the middle of a drama situation that he is looking horrible in, he's laughing to diffuse awkwardness. Like, it's obviously a nervous tick where he's talking about something where he knows he probably fucked up in, or at least people are very critical of him, so he knows that there's this tension here. And so he has this tendency of just like giggling and cackling very awkwardly to seem like he's more comfortable than he actually is, but it's a total projection.
Are you serious right now? This guy actually has the nerve to promote his dog shit product. First minute of the video. LSI's entire response is complete trash, and I'm going to show you bit by bit why that is.
You mess with Dan TDM, you mess with YouTube. I mean, that's cringe.
This is the guy calling Jacksepticeye cringe.
I absolutely love seeing.
Well, the reality is, if you mess with Dan TDM, the consequences are going to be entirely worse for you than it is when you make a video shitting on KSI. My proof? This video itself. This person has 37,000 subscribers. Not only did his video go into fucking orbit and he has almost 1 million views already, but the like ratio is so massively in his favor that you would think he somehow fucking solved the Krabby Patty secret formula. So KSI calls the tweet cringy, and that tweet, and it's a good point that was made by the tweet, but the tweet was written by Jacksepticeye. Now, he calls the tweet cringy. The tweet's absolutely correct, and it was written by none other than Jacksepticeye. And then we have this funny compilation of 2 years ago, KSI getting flustered like Jack was his crush the moment he complimented his music.
His videos these days are just so fun to watch. He has such a good charisma. His laugh is great. I like that. I like seeing YouTubers like grow and evolve and change. And
On the real though, thank you, Jack. Bro, thank you for the kind words, man.
hey, no problem, man. Just no problem at all. Just helping a dude out.
I guess KSI forgets the moment he gets defensive, and that is when all of this happens.
He has the Kamala Harris thing where when you just have nothing to say or add, you find a word that you use to end a sentence with and then laugh fucking maniacally afterward. Tissue paper. So, you know, growing up, I had a lot of cereal.
Yo, is this person fucking...
I'm not kidding when I say he laughed like 70 different times at nothing, and that's always been his #1 defense mechanism, desperately trying to hide how insecure he is when it comes to taking criticism.
What happened to YouTubers, man? I can't not say anything anymore. This is selling.
And this is his #2 defense mechanism, trying to discredit people by giving them an obnoxious voice.
Dan also probably gave the most like level-headed, tame response to what KSI released. What happened to YouTubers, man? I can't not say anything anymore. This is selling stuff for the sake of making money. Simple. How does this benefit their fans? This is selling crap to kids who don't know better than to not trust people who are selling it to them. Do better. Like, I think this is a fair criticism without totally ripping into him. Like, his main point isn't like, oh, that KSI is so evil, but it's that like YouTubers should be setting a good example for children, and it's sort of implied that that's not what's happening with this.
He then goes on to talk about his response to Dan.
It's like crap to me while showing his toys that he sold to kids.
So KSI wrote, looks like crap to me as a response to Dan's tweet, and then it's like a bunch of little toys that he has for the children that was watching his videos. Listen, this is not crap, it's toys. They're little figurines that kids play around with when they have like a big imagination when they're younger. You know, you keep it on the nightstand, it's like a little gift, it's a little trinket. It's not crap, and kids aren't fucking eating toys, you know? What you're putting into your body, what you're ingesting matters a tremendous amount, especially, you know, when you're developing and things like that. Like, childhood obesity is a giant problem in America. Childhood playing with toys is not. At all. If anything, it's actually better that, like, he's selling toys instead of a mobile game, you know? I mean, he may have done a mobile game before, I don't know, but my point is that, like, you know, playing with toys is actually, like, the best part of being a child. You can create these fantastical worlds in your head with these little toys. It's amazing.
His toys that he sold to kids. How does this benefit your fans, Dan?
Hooray! There actually is a benefit to selling this to your fan. It's that you're giving them a great time and something to have fun with. Like, I loved playing with Legos growing up. Does it, like, benefit me health-wise? No. But, like, that was a killer afternoon back when I was 10, playing with Legos.
Guys, you can't eat a toy. How does this benefit the fans?
You made toys with tube heroes.
And yes, that's fair. but I'm not the one complaining.
That's fair, but that wasn't even the actual problem to begin with.
He was talking about food, not merchandise and toys.
And I'm like, okay, sure. Let's keep moving the goalposts.
No one's moving the goalpost, you idiot. You were the one that tried to call out Dan TDM for his non-existent hypocrisy, comparing a toy that does not go inside your stomach unless you're 2 years old and your parents aren't looking after you, and processed crap that you're promoting at.
This is literal slop, by the way, so the comparison is not even close to being accurate. If that toy was super expensive, then like you might have something in terms of, oh, he's scamming his fans. But even then, I think buying like $100 toy, whatever that would be, is probably a better use of your money than buying a Lunchly and eating it. I remember Prime was facing a lawsuit because their drinks were linked to infertility, so you basically get castration juice to wash down your pedophile chocolate. After, of course, you've chowed down on like refined soybean slop. I don't have the greatest diet in the world, but the whole thing that they're doing is they're also marketing it as if it's like an incredibly healthier alternative to Lunchables, which isn't even true. I keep hearing this fucking Mr. Beast guy talk about, we use real cheese, Lunchables uses cheese product. Like, okay, but also my balls fucking work. Prime is like how to literally fuck up your nuts. Dude, this is like Heinrich Himmler telling Hitler that he's going too far. Mr. Beast calling out Lunchables for being unhealthy and then responding with like something like 2% less bad. My hero!
He was sponsored, then promoted, and made a whole video on Munch Pack. Now what? At this point, his fans imploded.
It's his fans that are getting all angry about it. My fans would never turn against me. I mean, surely my fans are part of my mindless echo chamber. Or so you thought, bitch. Because last time we checked out your own subreddit, all the posts were shitting on you. But what he does next is quite honestly disgusting, as he tries to paint Dan TDM's fans as racist.
Now, I saw this part of the video he launched, and this is basically what led me to make this video today, because this is where you totally 1000% unequivocally, without a doubt, lose any fucking charity that people were gonna give you. It's not only when, instead of, you know, responding and taking accountability for like the way you address the situation and tried to go for Dan's neck by saying that he's selling crap to kids, when he's not. Whatever I could be like, oh, you know, his heart was in the right place. Whatever amount of that I can give you goes out the window when you try to slander him as a racist and say that he's fueling his racist fans. You sound like a fucking troglodyte.
Just decided just to be racist.
Okay, this racist reply that we're reading right now has a whole
We have a literal 5-like tweet with 1.6 thousand views written by some person who's probably not even a fan of Dan TDM, but just wanted an opportunity to take the hate on KSI and weaponize it for his racist beliefs. And it has 5 likes. And again, it's hard to even take those 5 likes and assume that all 5 of those people 1000% agree with the tweet. Like I've said before, I like stuff sometimes, so it goes into my likes, so it's organized when I'm making a video on stuff.
Yeah, dude. This one guy most certainly represents the average toxic Dan TDM fan. You're right, half of them are racist. Bro purposefully just got one guy so he can put this shit in the video. What an idiotic and toxic way to try to discredit a YouTuber. And all this just to get people off your back. This is genuinely just fucking
like, calling someone racist when your whole goal is to like make a response video to wrap things up here does the exact opposite. His response was meant to set the record straight when all he's doing is adding fuel to the fire. The moment you toss around the racist word, people get so defensive because that's a moral condemnation that's equivalent to a lot of people. It's on the same tier as like pedophilia. For a lot of people, not me personally, and I think a lot of people who have that are fucking delusional, but it's the same in terms of the weight that it can have in impacting your career. People lose fucking like their entire career over this shit. They lose sponsors, and then it's the butterfly effect, where they begin to lose everything else because of it. Sponsors drop like dominoes, friends drop like dominoes, and then you lose shit. It's so not worth including in your video, because then by including it at all you're trying to do is in some way or another associate the YouTuber you beefed with racism against black people, which is so fucking evil and disheartening. And he complained about shifting the goalpost earlier. You're literally doing that by including these comments. You're making it so that the conversation shifts from the actual problem product to disavowing racism. I believe this is called a red herring. I've been looking up the different terms for the fucking, like, debate retard shit, and I believe this is called a red herring. It's when you, like, bring something up in a beef or, like, a debate to draw attention away from the actual point.
Our expectations for you were low, but holy fuck!
They kept moving the goalpost.
And he keeps trying to say that people are moving the goalpost, when in reality, he's the idiot that didn't understand Dan's point to begin with.
If you just type in Dan TDM sweets, there's countless of videos of him eating sweets, promoting sweets to his audience.
Countless videos promoting sweets, huh? Type the exact same thing, let's see here. 1, 2, this is inspired.
So we have trying food from around the world, which we don't even know if... by the way, all 9 or 8 years ago, we have trying food from around the world, which we don't even know if these are sweets, for example. We have a super sour challenge, so a challenge video.
Sponsored.
And then the first one is him trying Japanese candy. The logic that KSI is using here is so bad, and I can easily fucking destroy this in like 5 seconds. This is literally you complaining about someone who calls out YouTubers promoting gambling by saying like, well, you've gambled before, you have no room to talk. That is like so brain dead, because you're basically saying that people can't call out bad behavior if they themselves are not perfect with their own decision making. Like if Dan TDM promotes a fucking IPA or vodka, an alcoholic father is still allowed to say, hey, you're setting a bad example for kids. That's not hypocritical. Like let's say the alcoholic is criticizing the YouTuber promoting alcohol. It's not hypocritical because you're not criticizing drinking in general. You're specifically highlighting the way in which it's being promoted and who's promoting it. And you have to separate the message from the messenger. Like the whole idea of do as I say, not as I do. Like the person calling out the bad behavior obviously has flaws of their own, but their core message still has value. It's like Dan TDM having maybe a bad diet or something doesn't invalidate his criticism of the product you're selling.
It's just a challenge, and I can't seem to find anything else. Oh, it's just the 2 from 9 years ago. That's why you couldn't show your imaginary countless videos, I guess. God, this guy is such a fucking liar, bro. And I'm sure his remaining toddler fans are gonna eat this up and consider Dan a hypocrite now.
You own Lunchley, so it's not the same.
Okay, cool. Where was the same energy when Ryan Trahan released sweets? Where was the same energy when FaZe Rog released sweets?
So the biggest problem with what he's saying here is like, oh, where is this energy when these people did this thing where they released sweets? Is that what you're doing is you're masquerading your product as healthy. Like when Mr. B says it has real cheese and like the ingredients are basically good or whatever, you're mismanaging expectations. When people are selling candy and they're like, yeah, this is fucking candy, like time and place for it, or like alcohol, for example, people know what it is. There's no misunderstanding as to what they're getting. Whereas when they basically do their comparison, when they say Lunchly versus Lunchables, and they have it stacked up like what's so good about their shit, they're trying to really sell you on this thing being like so much vastly better than Lunchables in terms of ingredients, and it's just like not true. So the energy wouldn't be there because these people aren't selling something that they're like trying to get anyone to vaguely believe is healthy at all. The fucking selling point for the candy is like, it tastes good. We know it's fucking unhealthy, but it tastes good.
This guy still doesn't get it. He's actually that dumb. We're not only talking about a lunchbox, something that, you know, you're supposed to eat for lunch and is not consumed like a one-off snack in the day, but also the difference between you and them is, again, at least they don't pretend that their product is healthy. You 3 clowns, on the other hand, promote your product like it's some kind of saving grace for lunchboxes, when in reality it seems to be an even shittier product. And when a medical doctor exposed this, your boyfriend lost his shit.
It's because people just hate us. People just hate us. People hate Logan Paul, okay? They hate Mr. Beast. And they hate me.
It's all because people just hate me. I could never be wrong or criticized. I'm a narcissist, which means I'm always right. Newsflash, buddy. Nobody hated you until this incident, you moron. You're the guy.
When white people say newsflash, buddy, fucking get ready because they're about to spit some facts. If I ever say newsflash, buddy, in a video, this is where you fucking buckle up and tighten your asshole because I'm about to spit some fire.
Nobody hated you until this incident, you moron. You're the guy that decided to collab with crypto scammer Logan Paul and PDF hiring Mr. Beast. And even that didn't really mean that everyone was just suddenly going to attack you for collabing with them. But the moment you attack Dan TDM is the moment they realized, hey, this KSI guy seems to be a real piece of shit. At that point, your fans just expected you to stay quiet and take the hit like a man, instead of whining like a man-child on Twitter. But then again, you probably have the biggest ego on YouTube, you know?
When it comes to Twitter, Twitter is just a cesspool of the most depressed people on this earth.
Yeah, so he's basically blaming the Twitter mob for attacking him, instead of accepting that he was actually at fault here. Let's see what his excuse for Reddit is then.
If you make good points, you're a dick eater and a dick rider. I can tell the IQ of this Reddit is lowering. I'm sure there's just been an influx of Dan TDM fans just lowering the IQ of this fucking Reddit, man.
And there goes the schizo once again blaming Dan TDM's fanbase for attacking him, lowering the IQ of the subreddit. Sure KSI, whatever you say, but I'm curious, if this was just an influx of Dan TDM fans coming in to hate on him, why didn't the post just get downvoted or something like that?
Exactly, because people actually agree. And I know that people agree because, again, this video has so many likes, and you posted this knowing it would get these kind of likes. So the call is coming from inside the house. It's not these fucking Dan TDM fans, because Dan TDM fans are 5 years old and can't make a Reddit account. It's people who have functioning prefrontal cortexes, which is the exact opposite of what he said. He said that the people who are criticizing him are retarded. It's really the exact opposite. Who have watched you before are realizing what's happening and shitting on you for it. And instead of taking it on the chin, you actually are fathoming these realities, or this like delusion where Dan TDM fans have somehow spawned from nowhere at the age of like 16 or 17 and are making memes to shit on you. The amount of cognitive dissonance you have to engage in this fucking beef that way is unbelievable. But also, like, if there was anyone who was gonna behave this way, it was gonna be fucking KSI, right?
I mean shit, when Lunchables themselves call you out for containing PFAS chemicals, which if it wasn't the truth, you could probably sue them, but since they're confidently saying this, it's probably the truth, my guy. And it's funny you say this when even Ali Coca, the #1 MrBeast dick rider, is calling your product a garbage.
They are not in the business of providing a filling or good tasting lunch. Lunchables is super unhealthy and is the saddest excuse for a meal you will ever see in your life. Probably better off eating a peanut butter or cream cheese sandwich for lunch instead. You'll be fuller and it'll save you money. Cup noodles also go a long way.
There's way more crazier things happening in this world, but people want to go in on this lunch fucking kit.
This is what I was saying earlier, the red herring. This isn't his first time using this fucking tactic, where he just brings up something irrelevant, like, oh, you don't like Lunchables? Well, you know there's a war in Israel right now. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, we shouldn't be talking about the fact that I fucked up and I'm selling garbage to kids because there's kids being bombed in Gaza. It, like, has nothing to do with the debate and solely exists to make you, like, reconsider what you're talking about even though you're fully correct. It's such a fucking cringy tactic. But also, Lunchables commenting the fucking, like, the PFAS is so funny. Like, actually destroyed. That's what I was talking about, the infertility, I'm pretty sure that's what that is. But anyway, yeah, Lunchables got their dunk. I'm glad they did. And yeah, that's about all I want to get into for this video. If you guys want me to do a part 2, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, it's not looking too good for KSI.